Greetings from Snake Mountain Boatworks on Thursday, January 30, 2020. As you can see, we have the 1947 Chris U22 totally skeletonized. Anthony spent the day cleaning all the grease off of the frames. You can see, and we'll look at it at a different perspective, but Joe has fabricated two of the braces we need, at least roughed them in. They're not perfectly in place yet, are they, Joe? No. But as he was fitting those in, we had an interesting discovery. Go ahead, Joe, rock it. The whole hull will actually deflect about an inch each way, and we couldn't figure out why, because this should still be strong. Well, this afternoon, and I'll hand it off to Joe to, if I can get over here, to explain his discovery. And you remember this, the boat hit the rocks. The big scrape was up there on starboard, and then the rocks hit everything essentially at this angle and jammed the boat this way. And we've got new running gear. We've now replaced the destroyed frames. We still have the plank that crosses the bill stringers to fabricate. Obviously, we still have work to do on the keel. But why was this thing all stretched out here and not so much on that side? Well, take it away, Joe.
Yeah, when I was taking out the old damaged frames, as I took this carriage bolt out, I noticed that there was a crack. And once I got the carriage bolt out, it's actually broken in two spots. Right here, and then right along this seam right here where the chine hits that frame right there. And that, I mean, that's an inch out right there, and this is cracked all the way through on this part, and it's probably about 2/3 of the way cracked right there on that chine.
So fortunately, we made a right decision pulling off the chine planks, and now we can repair the chine frame. Why don't you explain what you're about to do?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is right now I'm making a block to go in between this frame and this frame here. And that way, once it's in there, it's going to be screwed in on each side of these frames. And I'm going to cut this at 45 so that we can take out the damaged part of the chine. And I'm going to fabricate a new chine to go in here, and it will be carriage bolted onto this block. So that way it's nice and strong again. It's all, all brand new from this scarf joint back to the stern.
Yeah, and 45 would be okay if there were some way to make it even more of an angle. The scarf joint will get much stronger, right?
Right.
So we might even try to take it up to 60 degrees, because the longer the scarf is, the stronger the joint is. And this is really the explanation for why, at least at this point, this entire boat will rack and torque, because the chine frame on port has been broken, which means essentially this part of the aft end of the boat is floating. So Joe's going to keep working on getting the framing back together. We'll be replacing this section of chine frame. Everything's pretty clean at this point. Soon we'll be able to begin laying out the pattern for the inner skin. We'll use 4mm Aquatech Meranti plywood as the inner skin. And then we will begin working through this little mountain of planks. Quite a few of them are really in excellent condition, but as I indicated in the last video, several of them on, turn it upside down, on starboard are just dry rotted, and we don't dare put them back on. I mean, here's a telltale example right here. This just came apart. The wood has got a lot of dry rot in it. So we will be fabricating a bunch of planks there. I see another one that's not looking very healthy. Anything that's the slightest bit suspect, we will replace. The others, since we still haven't found any significant oil soaking in the exterior planks.
Very few. There's 2 of them that were a little soaked.
Yeah.
And actually this was one of the worst ones right here.
So we will continue the process, and in about, well, by this time next week, we should have that bottom pretty much closed in, at least on the inner skin. So with that, we'll end this update on the 1947 Chris Craft U22. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now from Snake Mountain Boatworks.